see how much I'm weighing. Let's see. 136. That's not horrible, but I could be better. So I was gonna go jog about 65 miles today as a training jog because I was originally planning on going to jog 100 miles the day after Thanksgiving. But my daughter sent me an unusual request this weekend. So I probably will not be doing that. I decided to cut back on my 65-mile training jog today, and I'm just gonna do a small marathon, maybe go 30 miles, maybe 30, 31. Hopefully it's 10:33 now. I hope to get back by about 5 o'clock. I hope to go a little faster than I have been going because it's just a marathon. Okay, before I leave, I want to talk about bread a little bit. I'm sorry the house is so gross, but that's one of the reasons why I'm not going to be jogging 65 miles today, because I tried to clean the house up a little bit this morning, and I'm going to try to clean it up a little maybe other times this weekend. I need to stop jogging so much because although I have a lot of anxiety and it helps with my anxiety, the jogging it takes up a lot of time. So this stuff is like really expensive. You can get it at Walmart at the neighborhood market here in Northwest Arkansas. But the nice thing is that they don't have a lot of junk. And honey, by the way, has some extra nutrition in it that regular sugar doesn't have. It does probably spike your, it does probably cause an insulin response, but at least you get some nutrition along with it. So oil-free, that's a big thing. But if you look on these ingredients, most of these ingredients here are things that normal people that you could recognize. Now, I've heard that this is not good. What is it? White flour. But I won't hold that against them. At least it's not like some poisonous chemical. Tomatoes, green chilies, calcium chloride. Okay, that's not great. Citric acid, that's normal. Natural flavor spice, that's not, horrible. Cheddar cheese, pepper jack, Parmesan cheese, salt, diced jalapeno, onion, garlic salt, vinegar. Basically normal ingredients, okay? Not any of this weird stuff like sodium monoglyphosate or like, I don't know, maltodextrin or sugar. I didn't see sugar anywhere on this list. They said they added honey, but I didn't see sugar. So this stuff is fairly healthy. Most anything you get from Stone Mills is going to be fairly healthy. But it's very expensive. So if another option, you can get these at Walmart. This is a pretty good brand. I don't actually have anything in here, but if you look at the ingredients here, and if you read the ingredients of most of the breads at Walmart that you find, they're going to be really bad. So you look at this, enriched wheat flour. Okay, that's not great. You don't want that. But again, it's just flour. If you're using your flour, reduced iron, niacin, thiamine, monotrate, riboflavin, folic acid, water, wheat, fermented wheat flour. That sounds good. Sea salt, extra virgin olive oil. Whoa, all right. Now we're talking some good stuff. That's good for you. Fermented rye flour, yeast, wheat, gluten, calcium. I don't know what that calcium propionate and sorbic acid is, but this stuff is reasonably healthy. It's not like Wonder Bread, which is like poisonous and stuff. Another option is this. You can get this too at Walmart. Artisanal sourdough bread. You need to be careful about this particular brand though, because some of their stuff they put hemp in, and I don't know how healthy hemp is. But this particular bread from this company, again, we have it says unbleached enriched wheat flour. I think that's a good thing. I think that's what that lady, the dietitian, was saying on her post. I'll try to put her two posts at the end. Wheat flour, niacin, reduced flour, thiamine, water, fermented wheat flour, barley malt, sea salt, that's really good. Cultured wheat flour, vinegar, wheat gluten, yeast, natural flavor, enzymes. Basically all normal stuff, okay? This is what I'm going to be carrying for me on my run, that and an orange. I was not going to actually eat anything this morning, but I got to cleaning the house because I was waiting on the GoPro batteries to charge. And I got a little tired, so I figured I better eat. For a marathon, I'm adapted. I'm somewhat fat adapted. So for a marathon, I don't actually need the fuel, but for longer runs, I do. But since I was up this morning, I took a little nap and I ate something to recharge myself. And also, I'm not used to running at high speeds, so I want to get done with this quickly. Here's another. A lot of the breads that you find at Aldi's are very healthy. This is not actually what I was looking for. I was actually looking for their Italian loaf, which is like wheat, water, flour, and salt, I think, are the main ingredients in that. This is everything sourdough. Let's see, what have we got? Wheat flour. Ooh. Wheat malted barley flour. I'm getting over a cold. Water, sea salt, sourdough, cultured water, poppy seeds, flax seeds, garlic, onion, and enzymes. Basically, right here, wheat flour. I'm pretty sure that dietitian would approve of this. It's not bleached. Sea salt. And this stuff tastes really good, by the way. And there's another one that they have. I don't know what it is. It's their Italian loaf. It's really great, but what I'm going to carry for today is this one, because that's what I got. Okay, so I don't know if I can find the other Aldi's bread, but generally speaking, Aldi's is a good place to get bread, so I'm going to cut now. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, I'm sorry this bathroom is so nasty, but this is basically what it looks like. I'm using a Chesty mount and a GoPro. And I'm carrying my keys around here, and I will be carrying, oh my goodness, I don't know where my water bottle is, but I will be carrying my water bottle in my left hand the whole time. So I'm hoping to get out of here quickly. There is a very, very real possibility I may run out of water. I know, I need to clean the house. I will, I promise. That's the whole reason why I'm not going 65 miles today, because I'm going to try to. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna lock the door. I need to change the battery about every 1.5 hours. Let's just hope I can make this as quick as possible. The door's locked. Okay. Up. Are we good? We're rolling? Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and tighten. It says it's going. Okay. It's only going to last about 1.5 hours. And this Chesty mount has a tendency to bounce around and get uncomfortable after a while. Okay, we're going to start the GPS. This is a Garmin Forerunner 55. One of the cheaper Garmin's, but it works really well. It doesn't have the best battery life in the world, but I'm hoping that this GoPro GPS will sync soon too. There's a tree. Okay. You should have seen what I did with that tree the other day. It was pretty funny, but I was afraid that I might do something stupid and it might destroy the neighbor's house, so I didn't record it because I didn't want the legal liability. All right, we're going. I need to try to maintain 10-minute miles if I can. The GoPro is already bouncing around, which is annoying. Bouncing around like crazy. That's why I have image stabilization on. So what did I eat this morning? You know what I wasn't planning on eating? I ate eggs. Let's see. I don't even remember. Eggs, probably a banana. I just drank some beet juice just now. Let's see. Nuts. And I already need to go to the bathroom, which is dumb. I don't know. I don't even remember. Eggs, banana, nuts. What's in this water bottle? Water, salt, a few spices, freshly squeezed orange juice by me, just a slight amount, and chia seeds. Yeah, it looks like I waited too late in the season to do this, because most of the color is already gone in the trees. But we're doing it anyway. Right now, I'm at 8:35, which is a good time. 8:35 minutes per mile. I need to keep it under 10. When I go longer distances like 60 or 50, then I need to keep it under 12 and 13. But I really want to get done with this. Those longer distances, you really degrade. Going up a little hill. Got a car coming up, I think, in the back. Maybe not. I'm hearing things. It's from the highway. Martin Luther King. I think it's the Highway 61. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but Martin Luther King is also a highway that runs to Lincoln. Arkansas, apparently an apple capital of some sorts. Look at that tree. This is tree too. .935 pace. It's gonna get really dicey here in a little bit. Right now I'm on the road. I'm gonna take a shortcut. It'll allow me to avoid traffic lights. I don't always take it, but it's more scenic. So, I've only been going for like 4 minutes. And I need to remember to call out the mileage because the odometer, the GoPro breaks videos up into segments. And when you go back to combine them with the GoPro overlay tool that I use that is open source, look at all this. You get to see this if you run. It's not in its peak beauty, but it is decent, even though I waited so long. Look at that guy's yard. So, yeah, so when you go back to combine them, so I'm at half a mile now, and my pace is 9:45. When you go back to combine the clips, the odometer goes wonky, and you have to take all the clips, you have to merge them into one master long clip. And believe me, for a 4-hour high resolution 1080p MPEG, that can be very, very time consuming and can use a lot of disk space. So I'm only recording at 24 frames per second right now. When I sing, I like to go at 60 frames per second because it helps make the performance look more authentic, or when I play an instrument. But because you're not actually looking at me talking much, except at the beginning, it shows 24 frames per second with image stabilization, and that will allow you to have a better experience. You will not need to see a lot of fast action because I'm just jogging, and having a smooth transition of frames is much more desirable than having a fast frame rate. Plus, it extends the battery life of the GoPro significantly. So, 24 frames per second. There's not a way to downgrade to 720p on this particular GoPro. I think it's the GoPro 10, Hero 10. I want to kick myself in the rear end because when I first got it, I didn't understand how to operate it very well. And I messed up the mic. I messed up the mic door. carrying this thing around the whole time is going to get really annoying. And I'm going to have to, it's even more important that I carry it because there's a very real chance that I will run out of water on this jog because I believe the city of Fayetteville has already winterized all of their water fountains. I'm gonna get rid of this noise here in a little bit. .820 pace. Again, I have to call out the distances or show them. I still smell an unpleasant odor on my shoes from the run I did last week. This traffic is not very desirable. This is the quickest way to get to the cut where I need to be. I couldn't go through those back roads, I don't think, because it leads into somebody's yard. That path where I turned left back there, if I had gone straight, I think that leads into somebody's private property. It's a statue. Okay, I'm at 1 mile, I did 9 minutes. 1 mile and 9 minutes. That is acceptable. It's not amazing, but it's not horrible either. The scary part is that my performance is going to go down the longer I go. Like I'm at 1 mile now. Let's just say I want to do 30 more. Performance is going to really tank 29 miles down. Well, actually about mile 12, my performance starts tanking. So, this is why I'm carrying a GoPro, because you need to see this. Oh, this looks a little dangerous with all these leaves around here on the ground. This is also much more difficult to run with up and down this mess, so it's going to wear on me a bit. I've done this a few times before though. Hopefully I won't trip over too much. I'm going to try to just get in and out of here, even though it's very beautiful. So that's like a mile away from where I live. Currently live. My daughters are really missing out on that. They don't live with me right now. Just a little mile walk and they could enjoy this wonderful nature trail. Not even having to, they do have to deal with that nasty sidewalk. It's a little dangerous back there along Martin Luther King that they won't fix. Although there's actually a back road to get to that. I'd like to be jogging with him. There's actually a back road to get to here. Not the cutoff where I turn left. That goes to somebody's yard. But if you go up to this, if you go left on Holland when I went straight and then go up to the stoplight, there is a button that you press that will allow you to cross Martin Luther King without any trouble. It'll stop the cars and you can go. Then after you cross that, there's a little trail, goes back. There's some nice residential roads and even a little bicycle trail that goes back through there. And then there's Old Farmington Road, but you wouldn't have to go all the way to Old Farmington Road to get here. But basically you could cut through there and then come back up and then go through another button controlled intersection and get here more safely if you needed to. A good way to get here by bicycle. So it'd be safe for my kids to do that since they're not massive veteran cyclists like I am. Even if you are a great cyclist, you never know when a motorist is gonna just do something out of the ordinary. I'd say probably 1 out of every 1,000 vehicles behave normally. I'd say 999 out of every 1,000 vehicles behave normally, but you get that one, and I don't know what they're thinking. They're just off in la la land, and it could be a disaster. So if you ride as much as I do, it can become an issue, and you eventually develop. I have horrible situational awareness, but I have excellent bicycle situational awareness. And when my brakes are working properly, which they aren't always because they don't always keep them tuned, then generally I can anticipate those problems before they come. But when a guy's coming up from behind you, it gets pretty difficult to know what's going to happen. So here we go. 147. 1 mile, 47 hundredths of a mile. 1.47 miles. That is not good. I just twisted my ankle. It's too early to be doing that. Way too early to be doing that. This is a technical path. Okay, it's calming down a bit. I wonder what my heart rate is. I don't have to leave the heart rate monitor on this thing anyways. Sometimes it can be wildly incorrect. But most of the time it's correct. I am getting tired. I am getting tired. By the way, on the fact I'm tired, Fasting is not an eating disorder. We need to get that straight right now. There have been times when I've fasted for 3 days, water or water plus salt only, and come out of it refeeding appropriately, gently, and I've come out of it with running performances that are just like when I was in my 30s. I'm 51 years old now. To come out of a 3-day fast and feel like you're 30 years old is pretty novel. So I'm not saying teenagers should do it. I'm not even saying you should do it if you're under 25. But one meal a day isn't going to kill anybody. But I'm talking about just no food at all for 3 days straight, or even longer. It will not kill you. Trust me. Well, if you're a normal, healthy person. If you're on certain medications, if you have certain health conditions, you need to talk to an appropriate doctor before you start a fasting regimen, because it can be stressful on your body. And if you don't get proper sleep during the fast, you may limit the benefits that you're going to obtain from the fast. One of the things that happens during a fast is that your electrolytes tend to go a little wonky. And if you didn't top off on electrolytes properly before the fast, then, well, you're going to have some pain. Not to mention the fact, if you are insulin resistant or have a certain type of certain types of diabetes, those can interfere. There's one type of diabetes that you probably shouldn't fast ever. There's another type of diabetes that is caused by insulin resistance. I don't remember which one it is, but if you have mild insulin resistance, first couple of times you fast, it's not going to feel very good. But over time, through fasting, this is dangerous. A properly keto-friendly diet, like Dr. Eric Berg would recommend. I said a proper keto diet. You can overcome insulin resistance over time, gradually. Oh man, I'm tired. That took me 11 minutes to do that second mile. 11:07 to the second mile. I'm at 2 miles now. The second one took 11:07. So that's bad, but I'm on pace. Now where is this? I need to take Fayetteville Traverse because I want to get out of here. I'm just cutting through basically. My goal is to get to Lake Fayetteville, but I have limited water. So, and it's quite warm here. It's I think November 15th, I think it's November 15th. And it's pretty warm. Ideally, the temperature would be a little lower than this, but this is dangerous. If you're walking, it's not so bad. You can also bring a walking stick to help ensure your safety. And do it like the hikers do. It's probably better to have a walking stick if you're hiking, just for common sense. I don't carry one, but it's just a good idea. Obviously, I'm not using one right now. My hands are full. I need this left hand to do other things, and I need this hand to carry the water. And no, I do not like camelbacks. I don't like carrying those things on my back the whole time. And right now I've got a GoPro Chesty on anyway, which is enough of a burden. But, so it's been 22 minutes. I've probably got plenty of GoPro battery life. The GoPro is notorious about, unless you have it's paired with a cell phone, which I don't have a phone with me right now. Unless it's paired with a cell phone, this isn't an Apple Watch, it's a Garmin. It does not have cellular capabilities. Some of the very expensive Garmins have limited cellular capabilities, but I'm not paying $1,000 for a watch. So I need a Mac Mini. I need to get one of those because my desktop computer is it's on its dying legs. It's going out, man. It's not doing so well anymore. It's been upgraded a couple of times, but it's more than 10 years old. Well, let's just put it this way. The case is more than 10 years old. The motherboard is more than 10 years old. Fortunately, that motherboard was a good motherboard when I got it, so I was able to take some pretty beefy Xeons as an upgrade when I did the last upgrade, and I got them fairly cheap used off of eBay, and it's able to handle hordes of RAM. But the problem is that technology has advanced so much that between SSDs and the modern processors, even super fast Xeon processors back in the day are really slow compared to a modern Xeon or a modern, what do they call that? Apple what chip? Apple has their own architecture now. They left Intel, I forgot what it is. And even the old consumer Intels, the Intel chips, like what do they call it? I don't even remember what they call them anymore. i7s and i5s, those probably outperform an older Xeon. So even though they were really good Xeons and got me a little bit of extra life, they're still a bit old, and it's hard to upgrade the CPU anymore past what it is, because this motherboard is maxed out on the fastest CPU, pretty much the fastest CPU connection it can have. Not to mention the fact that very few developers properly utilize multi-threaded PCs. They will utilize multi-threading on a GPU properly, particularly for games, but they rarely optimize for a multi-threaded CPU. So anything past 6 cores these days, 6 threads, is a lot of times a waste, because you're not gonna get the benefit from it unless you're like doing something like transcoding. Most transcoding algorithms I've seen will effectively use all cores, particularly if you transcode several different clips at the same time. But the problem you're going to run into is if you're doing video encoding, a lot of times you wind up with sequential bottlenecks such that it's impossible. It's very difficult for the programmer to properly anticipate how to farm out that sequential chain in such a manner that it can be done in parallel, particularly if you have cascading effects where the next effect depends on the output of the previous effect. If you have all independent objects with very little dependencies, then it's easy for the programmer to take advantage of the parallelism. But oftentimes they aren't able to do that. Another thing, if you're ray tracing, if you're ray tracing on your own, you should, in theory, be able to get maximum benefit from a massively multi-threaded machine. And also, I suppose if you're mining Bitcoin, which I don't, then a massively threaded multi-machine, a massively multi-threaded machine would probably be a benefit. But most users need higher single-threaded performance, and that's where my machine is really starting to fall apart. And Microsoft Windows has gotten absolutely horrid about using hanging the hard drive excessively. And I'm still on mechanical hard drives. If you have an operating system that's halfway prudent and doesn't bang the hard drive to pieces for no reason at all, then a mechanical hard drive is fine and perhaps even more reliable than an SSD. But if you have an operating system that just decides for whatever reason to form massive you have an operating system that for whatever reason decides to perform massive updates for no reason at all, no seemingly logical reason, then you could have a problem with a mechanical hard drive. This is really tiring. I'll be glad when I make it out on the other side. And I'm already thirsty. This is a bad combination. Maybe to make it, I might just have to go get bathroom water. Not real healthy, but it'll let me finish the run. Going to the bathroom, start at the sink. I'm not carrying any cash. And no, I stopped drinking Gatorade. The collegiate minister of my church, back when I was training for Ironman and other events, said something that really struck me as odd. He said, they're finding out now that Gatorade does not do you any good. You're better off drinking water. And I'm like sitting here thinking, okay, this guy's crazy. You know, I mean, that's what I was thinking. And I was going through a really rough time with my family, and I still am. I'm going through absolute hell with my family, still to this very day. And anyway, so I ended up leaving that church to go study Spanish, but as far as I know, Fayetteville straight. Whoa, you gotta pay attention. Fayetteville Traverse, okay. Anyway, I wound up leaving that church to go study Spanish. I go to Trinity Espanol now because I'm still learning Spanish, even though I'll be taking jazz analysis next semester instead of intermediate Spanish 1. I thought I was gonna flunk beginning Spanish 1 and 2, even though I used to read Spanish children's stories for my kids when they were little. I had no idea what I was doing, but I learned a little bit, but not anywhere near enough. So now I'm just basically trying to embrace a lifestyle of Spanish, even though lately my immersion has not been very good. But I still go to the church I had been going to Bible studies there on Wednesday, but I had to stop for various reasons. 3 miles, I was 11:29. We are now behind pace. We need to keep it at 10-minute miles, but that first time I went at 11, it wasn't so horrible because that's not good. It wasn't so horrible because I had 9 minutes the first round, so it kind of made up for that 1 minute behind. But now we got a problem.